question. Somebody raise your hand and ask. What is it, Josh?
How many millimeters are in a centimeter?
Okay, how many millimeters are in a centimeter? So, let's look at the board really quickly. Ivan, tell everybody how many millimeters are in a centimeter.
10 millimeters.
10. This is 1 centimeter. What represents a millimeter? All the little lines before it. Because a millimeter is 10 times smaller. Good job. Where's your white paper? You're making me angry. You do so have it. You have it somewhere. So, how many millimeters? 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. Write it down. Pink paper. 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. How many centimeters are in? You have the pink paper. We just got it 2 days ago. You gotta get it out. Let's go. How many centimeters are in a meter? Centimeters in a meter, Jay. 100. Write it down. So that means a centimeter is how many times bigger or smaller than a meter?
Centimeters 100 times.
Yes. Centimeters are 100 times smaller than a meter. I can cut this meter stick into how many pieces? Anthony. Centimeters.
Oh,
100. So a centimeter is 1/100th of a meter. Ray. Question. We're good? Today's question. Yes, Anthony.
what page is that?
This is page what? 16. Get there. Yesterday, we measured length. Length is distance between 2 points. When we observe, we want our observations to be exact. How do we make our observations exact? By measure. So we're going to be measuring. Why do we want to make our observations exact? Because we want to make better inferences. So, alright, so on page 16, everybody get there. You're measuring. There's a ruler and object. Give me the centimeters and the millimeters. You got 60 seconds. Go.
Wait, what?
It's on the paper. Page 16. This is up when you first walked in. Let's go. My little Marines. Hustle. What page are you supposed to be on?
16.
Let's go.
I can't.
Yes, you can. There's no can't in football. I mean, in science. All right, no can't in science. Shh. You ready? 45 seconds. Let's go. You're answering these questions. How are we doing? Good, easy? All right. No naked numbers. Do the first one. Number 1. Don't be naked.
I'm done.
Jefferson, number 1.
5 centimeters.
Excellent. How many millimeters? Jaylene? Good, because a millimeter is 10 times smaller, so you need a lot more. Ray, number 2.
8.5.
Excellent. 8 and 5 tenths centimeters. No naked numbers. How many millimeters? Adriana?
9.
Milla.
85.
Thank you. Brayden, number 3. 9. You're naked. Tell me why that's naked. Why is it naked, Nikki? All right, and what else is missing? The zero. Why is it important to put the zero there? Who cares? The zero means nothing. Why do we need it, Josh? Okay, good. We're not rounding, but look at this. I need you to look at my ruler. My ruler not only measures centimeters, it also tells me how many millimeters. So I know it's exact, and you're not rounding. Good job, Josh. Because it could be 9.1, but it's 9 and 0/10. Excellent. So every time you measure in centimeters, you have to say 9.0. However, how many millimeters are there, Veronica? Good. Do you have to put a 0.0? No, because it doesn't measure smaller than a millimeter. Jaylene. Good. Naked. Naked. 12.0. Don't round it. Kaylee, how many milli? Good. Lucci on the right page. Good. 5. What do we get, Veronica? Good. Carl, how many millis? Good. If you got 4.4, that's okay. Human error. We're allowed to have different perception. It's close enough. 16. Anthony. Good. 2.9, 3.0. I'll take them both. Ivan, how many millis?
29 millimeters.
Good. In this case, it would be 29 millimeters. If you put 3.0, it would be 30 millimeters. Are we good?
Yeah.
We're Gucci? All right. Now, there's not only millimeters, centimeters, kilometers, or meters. There's a whole metric system that I didn't tell you about. You know about this already. Let's make sure we know about it. So, I need you guys to turn to the page 6 in your yellow notes just so we can go over it. Quickly. The top part is review, so let's go over quickly. Yellow notes, page 6, hustle. Hustle. All right, we said the basic unit of length is this stick. What's it called, Anthony? A meter. How many meter sticks am I holding? One. That's the basic one. Everything to the right, is it smaller or bigger? Smaller. Everything to the left? Bigger. So, what do you know? Use what you know first. How many centimeters are on your meter stick? Right. Centi. 100. We know there are 100 centimeters on my meter stick. Put 100 above this too. So, make an inference. If there's 1 meter, 100 centimeters, how many decimeters do you think are on here? Boots, I'm going to give you a piece of paper. You have this from IBS, remember? What happened to it? All right, here, take this one. Can you give this in? Take that. All right. How many decimeters? What do you think? Make an inference. 10. What do you think? How many decimeters? Ivan is correct. He said 10. 1 meter can be broken down into 10 decimeters. What pattern is he following? What is he following, Dylan? Yes. Every time we're going to get 10 times more. But these numbers are not bigger. They're smaller. So it takes 10 decimeters to make a meter. It takes 100 centimeters to make a meter. So if I only had 1 decimeter, it's this big. It's 1/10 of a meter. If I only had 1 centimeter, I have 100. What if I only had 1 millimeter? What would I have, Kaylee? 1,000. Good job. What do you know about kilo? If I put kilo in front of the meter, what happens to it? The it get bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
A lot bigger. How many meters is 1 kilometer? How many meters is 1 kilometer? How many? Anthony. 1,000, good. All right. Dylan, what are we multiplying by? 10. What are we multiplying to get this? A tenth. A tenth. We keep multiplying a tenth. So, basically, if there's 1,000 kilos, how many hectos would there be? How many hectos? Callie. Go girl. How many decameters, Adriana? Yes. 10. So 10 of these. Guess what? 10 of these. We don't use deca and hecto. And we don't use deci. I left them out yesterday. But you have to hold their spot. You can't ignore them, they're going to cry. You have to include them. So, let's practice. If you had 2 and 45/100ths of a meter, how many centimeters would you have? How many centimeters would you have, Adriana? Good job. 245. If you look on your paper, the rules are you're going to have 100 times more centimeters. So you're going to move the decimal how many spots? 1, 2, to the right. What if I was going the other way? What do you got to move the decimal? Don't go out, raise your hand. Which way? Luch. Good job. So let's do one that shows that. We got to go to the left. Let's do 89 centimeters. Start over here. If I have 89 centimeters, my decimal goes here. I want to go to meters. On my meter stick, this is 89 centimeters. Is that a full meter yet? No. It's less than 1. So what is the number? How many spots do I have to go over to the left, right? If I go over 1 spot, I'm right here. I want to go to meters. How many spots? 2. What's my number going to be? 0.89. I'm not testing you on this, but I need you to understand it because it's the big picture. Okay? We're going to move forward. We're not going to do all the examples on this page, but all of the information is on the bottom for you. How many people need to fill in the top? Can you do this by yourself? Allison, how many millimeters are in a meter? Yes, you can do this by yourself. Whose hug is a meter long?
What?
Whose hug is a meter long? My hug. James, what are you doing? Oh, good. How long is a grain of rice? Picture you had a grain of rice. How long is it? How long do you think, Thomas? A millimeter is really tiny, like a period on the page. A little bit bigger. Callie. Good. What did I say yesterday? Pinky, the width of your pinky. You could use whatever one. A grain of rice, how long is it?
How long is a grain of rice?
It's like a centimeter. You never looked at orzo or rice? It's not that long. How about a millimeter? How big is it? This one's gross. If you want to use my example. Carl. Yes. And why did I say that? Because it just looks like nose hairs.
What about
Or
like
mustache hairs.
like
The width of your hair.
What about just normal hair?
Perfect.
Why does that be nose hair?
Because it just sounds like you're going to remember it. Alright. Turn the page. I'm going to erase this. You don't have to finish it unless you want to. Do it yourself if you can finish it. Alright. Volume. Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance. When you hear volume, what do you think of? High. When you hear volume, what do you think of? Kaylee? Low. What is loud? Yeah, I am loud. What else? What does loud mean? What type of energy is loud? Starts with an S. Ends with a D. Sound. Sound travels in waves. If you want to make the sound loud, you have to make the wave bigger. Volume is a property that describes how big something is. So which box has a greater volume? This one or this one?
The black one. The one on the right.
Thank you for raising your hand. Kaya. This glass box is a greater volume than this one. How do you know? No, no, wait. Tell me what it means. How do you know? Which box has a greater volume? Why? Yes, because it's bigger. So, volume measures the amount of... Stop watching the people outside. Volume is... Space, something takes up. Volume is space. Mass is matter. Volume is space. In this class, we're using two different types of volume. Regular volume and irregular. What do you think regular means, Jefferson? What do you think regular means? Normal. What's normal? Not me. What's normal? For objects in science, how could something be regular? What do you think, Elena? If it's regular, it's going to be symmetrical. It's going to have sides I can measure. Symmetrical in all areas. Let's see. Is this symmetrical? No. How about this? Yes, I can measure it. What do you think I'm going to measure it with? A ruler. If we measure with a ruler, you have to measure all of the sides. You have to measure the length. You got to measure the width. You have to measure the height. But it doesn't have three sides. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It has a lot of sides. So, you don't want to add all the sides up. It'll take you too long. 1, 2, 3, 4. What are we going to do with all the sides? We're going to do what? Instead of adding it, what are we going to do, Adriana? Multiply them. And we're going to use this formula. Anybody know what the formula is? Volume equals what? Length. Not plus. Times. Width. Times. Height. Height. Length times width times height. Height. Okay. Now. Quiet. Please. Listen. Length. Guess what measurement with the ruler? Josh. Centimeter. You don't have to write this. I'm just writing it. Width. Guess what measurement with the ruler? Again. I don't want to write all this. Don't write it. It's too much writing. Height. Guess what? Can't there be a shortcut? There's too much writing. Oh, but if I just write CM, what am I telling you? If I just write CM, you're telling me that I measured in centimeter length or width. or height. You measured in centimeters. Volume has a different label. What label is this?
Money.
What kind of money?
Cash.
Dollars. What label is this?
Cents.
Cents.
Pennies.
What label is this? Question. How do we label volume, the property of volume? How do we label volume? How are you going to know that somebody measured volume? Centimeters tells you length. How do we know? Squared is area, be careful. How many centimeters are there? 1, 2, 3. Length, width, height, length, width, height. Length, width, height. It's a big what? It's three-dimensional. It's a contemporary dance for Nikki. It's centimeters to the third power. That means centimeter times centimeter times centimeter. Length, width, height. Centimeters cubed. You want to be really smart? You can write this. What does that mean? CC. What does it mean? In terms of measurement in science, it means cubic centimeters. I would prefer you write this, centimeters cubed. All right. Now, my ruler measures in centimeters and millimeters. So, you have to round all your numbers to the nearest, what's the matter, Anthony? No! To the nearest 10. So what's the rule? Write it down, don't call out. You don't listen when I talk to you. You were supposed to go in the beginning of class. Yeah. All right, Ron, you gotta fill this out quickly. 5 or more. What are we doing to the score? Adriana. Good. 4 or less. What are we doing? Let it rest. All right, let's watch. You should know how to do this. If you don't, you're gonna make me cry. If you don't know how to do it, you have to do the homework in the Google Classroom. All right. Here's the number. 9.54. Which one of these numbers is the 10th spot? Carl. The 5. Is the 5 going to stay a 5 or go up? Nikki. Stay at 5. Why? Good. So this is what you do. You look at the number next to it. You knock on the door. You say, dude, can you help me out? Can you lift me up? And 4 says, I'm too tired. I'm not strong enough. Maybe my number 5 friend could help, but I'm too weak. So the 5 is not going to help him. Has to stay. 9.5. The 5 is not getting any help from the 4. It's too small. If you looked at a number line, you'd have 9.5. Oh, wait a minute. No, you're not using calculators. You'd have 9 over here, 9.5, 9.6, whatever. Is it closer to 9.5 or 9.6? 9.4 is closer to 9.5. Because there's only 4 slivers. When you get to the middle, we always give it to the big guy. What's up, Luch? No, we're not going to have time to talk too much. I still have it. When you guys don't talk anymore or interrupt, we'll do it.
But then it's gonna go bad.
No, it's not.
Like the diet.
What do you think, it's going to be sitting there for a year?
Maybe. Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do it until next year? All right, do this one. What's the answer?
The answer is to 1.
Shh, this is what I do. Shh. Ray. 1.10? Well, that would make sense, right? Because 8's going to make that a 10. How do you write it, though? You can't write it 1.10. 9 becomes a 10, and then I'm going to do what? Nikki. Good. You add it up, 2.0. It's closer to 2.0 than it is to 1.9. Do the next one quickly. Let's go. Get them all done. Which one do you want to do next? Go 6.79. What's the answer, Carl? Good. This one, 1.36. What's the answer? Thomas. So what are your choices? The 3 could be 1.3 or 1.4. What is it closest to? 1.4. Because if it's greater than 5, you up the score. The 6 is greater. It becomes closer to this. 2.85. Kelly, what are you doing over there? Good. 2 point. What is it? Thank you. 7.83. What's the answer, Kaylee? 7.8. That little 3 is a weakling. It's not going to help me. It's closer to 7.8. All right. If you don't know how to round, this is all review. I'm going lightning speed. Why? Because we got to get here. Oh. You're absolutely not a choice. All right. This is what you need for tomorrow's lab. In order to be a good scientist, I need to know you know how to measure volume. Tomorrow, you're going to measure the length of a cube, the width of a cube, and the height. Height? Good. So, you got to practice. We're going to use the two-dimensional paper. Everybody label length, width, height. Height? All right. Thomas, write this down.
Longwood High School.
Yes, Longwood High School, go. We're the best. Formula for volume. Go back to your notes if you don't remember. Formula for volume is the first step always. What's the formula, Nikki? Good job. I'm putting a little dot there. What does the dot mean? Multiply. Don't forget. If you forget, write yourself a note. All right. What does the word substitute mean? Lorenzo, I need you to pay attention. Veronica, what does the word substitute mean? Guys, you want to keep that seat, you got to always pay attention. You got to show me. Substitute teacher. What does that mean? The teacher's out and you get somebody different. So what do you think we're going to substitute for the L? The actual number. What's the number we're going to substitute?
4.5.
Good. Don't be naked. No naked numbers. What are we going to substitute for the W? Kaylee. Good. Callie. Height. Good. Multiply that on your calculator. Use your phone if you want to, but if you get caught doing anything other than calculations, I'm taking your phone. All right, multiply them. What do we get? Length times width times height. Multiply it. If you need a calculator, Jaylene has them all on over there. Where'd you get, Nikki? Good. Round to the 10th. What's it going to be?
60.
All right. Is it bananas, marshmallows, cake? What are we measuring? Cake. Yeah, right. What are we really measuring? Volume. It's not centimeters. It's length times width times height. What is that? Third power. Good. Centimeters to the third power. I'm shutting this off.